EA Sports and the PGA of America are proud to present opening round coverage of the PGA Championship. Not the longest, but not bad. 295 yards in the fairway. Will settle. This looks to be at least an extra club, maybe two clubs going way up that hill to the green. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
EA Sports and the PGA of America are proud to present opening round coverage of the PGA Championship. Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Yeah, that's a good putt right there. From that distance, he'll settle. Locked in on the read and the speed. Been a little too much of that, Frank. Just sort of ho-hum pars. Action resuming early on the back nine. Let's go to hole number 11. Nothing noteworthy here in the first round, Frank, but still plenty of golf to be played.
That's right, Rich. A little bit of a dry spell, but really not a lot of damage done.
Okay, the second shot now at this par 5. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
And it looks like it's in the rough there, Frank.
It might not be as bad as it looks.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in.
Great shot out of the rough. He avoided all the troubles just to get that on the green.
That was not an easy shot. He'll settle.
You'd like that one again.
Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just a couple of feet. So, with that, 3 over par now for the round. Frank, the previous hole, we took out the sledgehammer. Now at the 12th, we'll need a scalpel, it looks like.
At 163 yards, you wouldn't think it's very long. But really, the problem is the green. You can pitch the ball in the middle of this green, and still it can kick over. So be very, very aware of the mounding and the undulations on this green. Another good swing. Another good approach shot.
Hasn't been easy, but he'll take it. That's a par. 3 over for the day. Frank, here at the 13th, a lot can happen.
Just a gentle dogleg to the right, or at least the hole moves to the right, plus the slope of the fairway. So you've got to aim left of center.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards.
Got to be careful here. Downhill, he's got to time it good because your weight's a little bit more on your front foot.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
But a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Now the par 4, 14th, and Frank, this is not about brute strength, is it?
A bit of a head scratcher here. When you first look at it, you think you just pull out the driver, but it narrows up in the driving area. So really it's a layup off the tee, just a short iron in from there.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Oh, can't hide the flag stick from that man. Frank going for 2 in a row now. Makes it and moves to 1 over. Ready to go here at the 15th tee, and by the looks of it, Frank, we should have brought the swimsuits and some sunscreen.
It's very picturesque, that's for sure, but don't get fooled by its beauty. This is an absolute beast at 503 yards and sets up a very, very tough finish to Whistling Straits.
Frank, they say you have to ride the wind. Boy, he got all of that one.
Got every ounce out of the conditions. Oh, nice strike, Rich. Not quite directly in line with the flag.
Just drifting a bit to the right, but he'll settle. Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Always 2 components to the long lag putt, the speed, number 1, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. In for par. Don't forget, second round coverage coming your way tomorrow here on EA Sports for our entire crew. I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now. EA Sports and the PGA of America are proud to present second round coverage of the PGA Championship. Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one. Got the measurement out there, Rich. Looks like 290 yards.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Mishit, wrong club. What happened there, Frank?
All of the above, maybe. That's a little bit of a head scratcher. Wasn't that hard a shot. Oh, and it gets a good kick. It's only in the first cut.
That's
not too bad.
Frank, I like the way he sort of starts his swing a little bit on the outside and then drops it right on plane. How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Frank, it's been that kind of a tournament. Another bogey.
Yeah, it's not exactly a small gap between that player there and the rest of the field. That gap's got to feel like the Grand Canyon right now.
That's another green hit in regulation, and that has been the story all day, just wearing out the center of that club face. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
That's how you keep a round going. Make them from that distance. Frank, check out all the bunkers on the right.
I can't count them on one hand, that's for sure. Just another example of how Pete Dyer's just has gone to work in the way in which he's protected these holes.
They'll be happy with that. In the fairway, and now a good chance to attack this hole.
Rich, it's not all gone. This is where you can pick yourself off the canvas. Start to string together 1 or 2 good shots in a row.
Wipe away all the negative thoughts from the bad start and just try to focus on what's in front of you. In the thick stuff.
Thick? It's brutal out there.
Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means.
Pretty good shot right there.
And getting ready for the putt. He'll take par and move on. Frank, what about this downhill shot off the tee and the idea that you just want to sort of let that ball run toward the green down the hill?
Well, Pete Dye just gives you so many different looks throughout the front 9 of Whistling Straits, and this really is the first example of this, plus the swirling winds that are created by that sort of tree and mounding on the right of this green. Quite spectacular.
Well, that sets up well for a chance at the green here at the 9th. Tug that one a little bit offline to the left. And he'll pay a bit of a price because that rough is fairly thick.
You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish, but, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
Right about 9 feet here to the hole. Ooh, that hurts. Well, you can see the golfer is just boiling right now after that miss. And a drop shot here at the 9th.
Calling the medics, Frank. Can't stop the bleeding here.
Just racking the bogeys up.
Missed cut. What happened, Frank?
Just not good enough. That's the easy way. Way too many shots out there, especially for that caliber of play. So put it in the memory banks. Move forward. Better days ahead.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live first-round coverage of the Charity Invitational.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Frank, you played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself that it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But if down breeze, Tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
It's amazing. Doesn't matter how close it goes. It's an extra shot. That one will definitely hurt.
He has this for par. Been a little too much of that, Frank. Just sort of ho-hum pars. Let's take you down to the 7th hole. Nothing noteworthy here in the first round, Frank, but still plenty of golf to be played.
That's right, Rich. A little bit of a dry spell, but really not a lot of damage done. Oh, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it?
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Good, clean contact and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up.
Just a fraction too aggressive. Remember, line and speed go together.
Sometimes you want that birdie so badly, and moves up into the top 25 with that par. Frank, the 8th hole, it is one of the most famous in the world, the little postage stamp, par 3.
Yeah, the front part of this green's the widest, Rich. Then it starts to narrow up, so you never know. Maybe going a little lower if you're going to go towards the back of the green. But really, if you're going to err, you want to err on that first third, first half of the screen.
Yeah, you don't want to come in too hot and roll it off the back. And he's made the green.
Even par, currently.
Still even par for the day. Frank, the 9th hole, 423 yards, not especially long by today's standards. You looking to make birdie here, or you happy to make a par and move on to the back 9?
Well, there's certainly a chance for birdie. One of the hardest things about the 9th is the raised green. And it's sort of, there's 2 tiers here, just the top level. If that pin is on the top level, then you would certainly walk away with 4 very happily.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
No putter, no problem. Slams that into the cup. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
In the fairway here at the 10th, nice way to start off the back 9. Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Early part of this second 9, a good approach shot. Now, pretty good chance for birdie. And this would be nice. 2 straight birdies. Tough start to the backside, Frank.
Yeah, it doesn't bode well, too. You start losing confidence with the putter early on.
Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Second round coverage coming your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. So long for now. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live second round coverage of the Charity Invitational. Appears to be what they call a commercial play, very solid. So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Wow, I thought he made that.
Well, I thought they'd at least pick up a shot. Birdie looked like a sitter. Now par.
He's made it. Now to the 601-yard behemoth par 5 6th hole. You can pay the steep price here, Frank, for a mistake.
You can. You can't reach this green with your tee shot, so there's no reason to even try. A good drive, if it bounds down the right side and will eventually go left, would perhaps give you a chance to reach this par 5 and 2. But this is one tee shot to concentrate on.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for 11.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time that one gets him in the top 10.
Moving inland now, Frank, the par 4 7th hole. Do you even think about carrying those bunkers on the right?
Not really, Rich. You're trying to work that ball off the left side, because if you get caught up on the hills there on the right, then all of a sudden you can start making 5s, 6s, and all sorts of weird and wonderful numbers.
Excellent drive right there, Frank.
Circa 310.
99.23564 recurring. That's what I make it. This has really been a challenge all day long with these winds coming from different directions, changing speeds. It's gone from 15 upwards to 25 miles per hour. Really a test for the players. With a good read, might have been able to make it from that distance, but not to be. Just a little tap in here. That is a solid par putt. All right, Frank, as we arrive at the par 3 8th, the only thing I can think of is if a 71-year-old guy can make an ace here, well then, so can our gamers.
Well, they certainly can. At 123 yards, well, you think it'd be, why shouldn't it be called the postage stamp? Go with too much club, it's one you'll airmail.
That may have been a bit too much to ask for there, that distance putt, Frank.
Yeah, it's fine to be greedy before you hit the putt, but after you've hit it, 2 from that distance is fine.
Good putt. Ready to go here at the 9th at Royal Troon Golf Club. 423 yards. What are you looking to do with this one, Frank?
Well, it's another one that's dogleg left. It's called the Monk, actually, because it faces the village of Monktown. One bunker on the left, 285 yards to carry that, but it's not that you're trying to carry it, it's you're trying to cut the ball off that.
Well, that sets up well for a chance at the green here at the 9th.
Well, this is not heading in the right direction.
Well, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Well done. So that is a top 10 performance through 2 rounds, Frank.
It's always nice to know that you have a shot with 2 rounds left in the tournament.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Charity Invitational. But this could be really good, Frank.
Oh, straight at it.
Excellent opening tee shot right in the fairway.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Wow, what a shot.
What are the chances of making it from there?
And ready to tee off here at the par 4, 391-yard second.
Yeah, it's not overly long. The biggest priority for the players is just avoiding the bunkers. All 11 of them, whether it be with your tee shot or the second hole. But at that modest length, it is very much a birdie hole. That's an absolute beauty.
Setting up for an approach shot here.
And there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Frank, what's so compelling about rivalries in sports is that athletes need each other if they're going to go to great heights. Joe Frazier needed Muhammad Ali to solidify his legend. Jack Nicklaus probably needed Arnold Palmer to go to a place that he had not been. And I think that's true across the board as we look at rivalries in sports.
I think it defines careers, Rich. It's not until those players retire that they realized how important it was to have that foe. You know, so often we're living in the present like we are now with Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. And it's not for years to come that we'll realize the sport wouldn't have been the same with one without the other.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie.
They par yesterday. This one for birdie.
Well, good birdie right there, Frank.
Oh, time to get another cup of coffee. Things are heating up.
Rich Lerner back with you at Royal Troon. Frank, first par 5 of the round. What's ahead?
Our best opportunity for a birdie here is to take it over the bunker on the right. If you do that, you're going to get a little added roll and go in here even with perhaps a mid-iron or a long iron.
And the tee shot ends up in the bunker. Missed the fairway in the fairway bunker now.
It's not all gloom and doom, though. Lip isn't too high. A good swing here still shouldn't be a problem.
Out of the sand and back on the fairway.
Yeah, good shot. Just really utilized that little bit between the ears. Realized he couldn't reach the green and instead opted for fairway.
Superb shot.
It's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Has it. Now to 7 under for the tournament. On to the 5th hole now, Frank, and this is really where the old course starts to test the golfers. It's just over 200 yards. You happy with a par 3 here?
You are. This is one of the toughest shots, certainly on the outward 9. There's 4 bunkers at this par 3. You don't really worry about the one that's short left, but the one just on the front right of the green is the biggest concern. You've either got to go around it or carry it.
Just continuing to play some really good golf. 8 under par for the championship. So through 54 holes, a really good position inside the top 5 with 1 round to go.
Yeah, and those handful of players that we're looking at, Rich, they certainly have looked the best players this week, which makes tomorrow look like a real thriller.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Charity Invitational. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way.
Pretty good shot right there.
Little redemption chance here. Had bogey yesterday.
That's a good par there, Rich.
Frank now at the 15th, and how hard is this par 4?
The key really is to get the ball on the fairway here. Avoid those 3 bunkers, because this is one of the flattest greens on the golf course. Get the ball on the green here. Any putt's makeable.
That is just a beautiful shot. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Birdie try up next. Now this for birdie. Came away with a bogey on the previous round. How does that not go in?
Amazing. Stroke looked good. Line looked good. Just did not take that final break.
Good work right there. They'll settle for par.
Now the lone par 5 on the back 9, the 16th, and while you might be thinking birdie here, you may want to think again. What are the options off the tee, Frank?
Well, really, there's only one option, and that's keep it short of that burn, which is 280 yards. So that makes that 540 yards play that much longer.
On the green with about 30 feet to go. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
That was not a very good read right there. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Right in the heart.
17th here at Royal Troon. This is a very strong par 3, isn't it, Frank?
Well, if rabbits have teeth, then this is why it's called rabbit. Very, very strong par 3.
That's a bit offline in the rough. He'll need to be strong with this. That is always so disappointing from that kind of a spot when you come up short.
Yeah, you're licking your chops over that one. The shot.
Pars don't hurt at this point, do they, Frank?
Especially when there's only 2 people in front of you. Now in third.
Finally, the 18th at Royal Troon. History, skill, nerves, bunkers, of course, and the clubhouse. Frank, they all come into play on this final hole.
Yeah, 3 bunkers down the left. It's not a case of hitting past those, it's avoiding them. And then if you avoid it too far to the right, there's one nicely placed about 300 yards off the tee that'll catch you there. So there's somehow you've got to craft a tee shot to miss all 4 of those bunkers.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. That is a beauty, a real beauty. Settles in over the putt. Oh my goodness, he just missed that. And that was almost tap-in distance.
Just a couple of feet.
Moves up into second place with that par.
So he's got his eyes well entrenched on the leader.